I can last up to 1,000 hours. Huh? You can't hold on already? To encourage maximum male spending, the law had invested 300 million and officially declared that every man could marry 10 wives and take 50 concubines. A wife had to be formally registered in the civil affairs system with a legally binding marriage contract. A concubine, on the other hand, didn't need to be registered at all. As long as both sides signed a cohabitation agreement, that was enough. By law, every man could have 10 family partners and 50 acknowledged companions. What kind of miserable life had I even been living before this? Just give me 10 already. Young man, do you want a wife? My daughter is 28 years old, an elite who studied overseas, and she earns 5 million a year. As long as you're willing to say yes, a house in Haishi and an extra 3 million in dowry will be arranged immediately. Back in my previous life, Su Wanrou's looks were easily on the level of a top-tier internet celebrity with tens of millions of followers. Even if someone spent 1 million on livestream donations, they still might never get to meet her in person. But now, everything had flipped completely. The male-to-female ratio had already collapsed to a terrifying 1 to 1,000. Every man had become a precious treasure, someone completely out of reach for ordinary women. If a woman wanted to get married, her family had to prepare at least 2 million in dowry. I think you're pretty handsome, so having high standards is only natural. How about this? I'll upgrade the house to one by the Huangpu River. On the wedding day, I'll even hand you the luxury car keys directly. What do you think? As long as you marry my daughter, you won't even need to work. You can just stay home and play games every day. And if my daughter ever treats you badly, we won't let her off. Absolutely not. Ever since the male population sharply declined, the government had introduced the Male Rights Protection Act. Article 27 clearly stated that if a woman caused psychological pressure to a man within a marriage, including but not limited to raising her voice or using cold violence, and it was confirmed she would face at least 15 days of administrative detention. Every single day, the state pushed 5 beautiful, capable, gentle single women to me. If I wanted to get married, I could have done it a long time ago. Did I really need your recommendation? Also, if you don't leave right now, I'm calling the police and reporting you for harassment. Young man, I really didn't mean it that way. I'm just too anxious. The competition between women is way too intense these days. If my daughter still can't get married, then she probably won't touch a man for the rest of her life. Her crying quickly attracted the attention of the other aunties in the park. The moment they realized a wild man had appeared, they swarmed around me and packed in so tightly I could barely breathe. Young man, look at my daughter. She's only 18, fresh as can be, and she's already been recommended for Tsinghua and Peking University. Tsinghua and Peking University. So what? For a handsome boy like this, I'll offer 100 million for my daughter. What's the point of money? A person lives for a whole lifetime just to enjoy themselves. Marry my daughter and live the life of your dreams. The scene in front of me was driving me insane, so I raised my phone and pretended to call the police. Hello, 110? I'm being surrounded by a group of women in People's Park. The aunties scattered on the spot the second they heard there was a risk of jail. Only the first Haishi auntie stayed where she was, still rambling non-stop. Child, please think about my daughter. I won't even fight for a wife position. Just take my daughter under your name as a little concubine, okay? Congratulations, host. You have successfully bound to the many wives, many blessings system. As long as you marry wives, you will receive endless wealth and heaven-defying abilities. Please marry one wife within 3 days. The reward will be extremely generous. After coming to this world for 25 years, you finally showed up. I found you in the Marriage Hall app. Do those count as marrying too? As long as a woman enters into an official relationship with the host and receives state-backed recognition, it all counts as marriage. I looked at the auntie in front of me and sighed. You don't seem to have it easy either. Fine, I'll reluctantly take your daughter in as a concubine. You're my savior. You have no idea how much hair I lose every day over my daughter's marriage. Auntie will transfer 5 million in dowry to you right now so you can see my sincerity. 1 minute later, I got the payment notification. Alipay has received 5 million yuan. Financial supervision has been pretty strict lately, so I just wrote it under the category of gift transfer. Please don't mind that. Oh right, I still haven't introduced our family properly. My surname is Xu. Wanrou's father passed away 3 years ago from overwork, but don't worry, child. Something like that will absolutely never happen to you. Don't say weird things. I'm perfectly fine. I'm only 25. Auntie has spent the last 3 years studying traditional medicine. I know quite a lot about treatment in that area. You just enjoy yourself. Young man, my house by the Huangpu River is just ahead. Let's walk there. Let me tell you, even though it's not as fancy as Thompson Riviera, it's still a first-tier riverside property with 180 square meters of space. When I bought it back then, it cost over 20 million. If you ever want to bring your wife over to live there, that's fine too. I may be retired now, but I can still work as a corporate consultant and earn money. Suddenly I understand that saying online, people in their 60s are in their prime grinding years. Auntie, don't work too hard. You need to balance work and rest. You're already retired and rehired now. Companies don't even give full benefits anymore, and medical bills are expensive. Young man, would this apartment work as a wedding house? I intentionally didn't interfere with the decoration. Wanrou did everything herself. I'm not just bragging for no reason. My daughter is incredible. Under my education, she can carry herself with elegance in public, handle the kitchen at home, and even go out and earn glory for you. When is your daughter coming over? I haven't met her yet. Oh my, I'm really getting old and muddle-headed. I actually forgot to notify her. Young man, I'll call Wanrou right now and tell her to put down whatever she's doing and come back immediately to meet you. That woman actually found a husband before me and even became my direct boss. There's no way she's better than me. She even brought in some random tool just to suppress me. Hurry up and get over here. I already transferred your 5 million dowry to him. If you don't come soon, he'll get tired of waiting. And this money is non-refundable. I was already upset enough that I hadn't succeeded in getting promoted, but then my own mother, without even discussing it with me, transferred 5 million in dowry to someone else. I hadn't even seen the man. How could you give him the dowry before I even met him? What if I don't like him? Hurry up and keep him there. I'm coming back personally to inspect the goods. Girl, are you trying to make me spend my next life reciting prison regulations in a cell? It's already been over half an hour. Why isn't she here yet? That silly girl. Don't tell me she went to the salon to do a full spell-level makeover. Mom, where's the man you bought for me with 5 million? There, over there. Satisfied? Mom, I suddenly feel like eating polar bear. Why don't you make a trip to Antarctica? This card is with you. Swipe as much as you want. So a man really came to your house? Why does the air smell like a man's sweet, sweaty scent? The younger daughter from Old Song's family across the street is pretty and pure, and her family's in great shape too. I'm just afraid Jiang Cheng might get snatched away by them. No way. Your daughter just failed another blind date and went home crying. Well, your daughter is already 28. It's not easy for her to find someone anymore. A moment ago, your mother said you'd be my concubine. Do you have any objections? Honestly, not giving Su Wanrou a wife position really did feel like a bit of an injustice to her. But once I granted someone the title of wife, there was no higher place to move her up to later. It was better to do this step by step. I'm willing. It's just, I don't know if the older sisters will be able to accept me. She clearly thought that since I was taking her as a concubine, I must have already married 10 wives. I'm not married yet. You're the first. If you agree, then I'll add you in the marriage hall app. A guy this handsome still wasn't married? Then she wasn't a concubine at all. She was the main wife. As long as she performed well, sooner or later she could rise in status and become Jiang Cheng's official #1 wife. The operation on my side was simple, but on the woman's side, it was much more troublesome. Su Wanrou not only had to confirm everything, she also had to study how to take care of her husband after marriage. If she got even one question wrong, she would lose her qualification to become a concubine. I didn't expect things to be this complicated for you women. I thought you could just press accept and that would be it. This is my first time taking a concubine too, so I don't know the process. There are too many women these days with no conscience. They completely change after marriage. Every day they only know how to clean the house and have no idea how to massage their husband, pound his shoulders, warm the blanket, or wash his feet. So it's actually a good thing that the authorities are stricter with us. With a 1 to 1,000 gender ratio, a woman who only knew how to do housework really was a bit behind the times. About how long will this take? If it's fast, 50 minutes. If it's slow, maybe another hour and a half. Can't a concubine choose to pay 200,000 dragon coins as a performance deposit and skip the exam? Pay the deposit first. We can talk about everything else later. Jiang Cheng must have felt bad for me and didn't want me wasting time on this, so he told me to pay the deposit. Then, in private, I definitely have to study these documents properly. I can't let my husband down. Congratulations, host. You have successfully taken Su Wanrou as a concubine. Rewards are now being distributed. Detected, Su Wanrou's beauty far exceeds the standard and has reached top-tier level. What are you doing? So, this is what a man smells like? I love it. And just like that, barely 15 minutes into the opening, things were already turning wild. Could it be Shu Yi? Didn't he go to Nanjing to buy penguins? Are you here looking for me?
We're not here for you.
If not for you, then who else would we be here for? Your man, of course. This isn't the place to talk. Let us in. We need to legally question you about the cohabitation contract you just signed. Are you Mr. Jiang Cheng?
What was this?
A once-in-an-era ultimate grade man?
No, please sit.
We're only here to ask a few simple questions today. I haven't introduced myself yet.
I'm Liu Yan, Chief of the Huangpu District Police Bureau. Could it be that the police thought I'd accepted an outrageously high dowry and had come specifically to educate me?
Then she looked at me and asked, "You signed a cohabitation contract with her? She's already 28, and her looks are only average. Couldn't she at least go find an old man? Mr. Jiang is one of the finest men in the entire country, in all of Modu, and in our whole district. How could she possibly be worthy of you? Mr. Jiang, did Su Wanrou coerce you or pressure you into signing the cohabitation contract? If you feel embarrassed, you don't have to answer. Just blink once, and that'll be enough. At that point, we'll hire the most professional legal team to protect your rights as an SSS grade premium, male of the Dragon Nation." So it really was, because her daughter hadn't seen a man for too long, and got a little too forceful. This was bad, real bad.
My dear daughter, I already found a man for you.
Why couldn't you just endure a little longer? Officer Auntie, my whole family are good people. My great-grandfather even fought enemies in the war. Didn't you say your daughter failed at blind dates? So what? After failing to reflect on herself, she decided to force an innocent boy instead. Like mother, like daughter. It's been so long since I caused trouble. I wonder if this stand can still scratch up that shameless woman's face. Officer Auntie, just look. With a mother like that, how good can the daughter be? I looked at the handsome young man and couldn't help blurting out, "Wait, how is he this handsome? We suspect your daughter induced Mr. Jiang into signing a cohabitation contract, so we came to investigate. If both sides are willing, we'll leave immediately. Just look at what she's wearing. How could she possibly be worthy of this peerless, beautiful man? Dressing up on purpose. Who is she trying to impress? Ridiculous. Recently, I saw in the news that men's favorability toward women above 25 has already dropped to 20%. Officer Auntie, she definitely tricked this incredibly handsome guy. You absolutely have to investigate properly. You can't let a single bad person slip away. Su Wanrou and I really did enter this willingly.
I chose of my own free will to form a relationship with her. Handsome guy, why don't you first come with me to a top-tier hospital and get your eyes checked? What is your relationship with Jiang Chen? Husband and concubine. Miss Liu, how much was your dowry? 5 million. So in the end, this really was aimed at me. I took someone's 5 million dowry. Was I about to end up behind bars? A man this outstanding only took 5 million as dowry. Who are you trying to brush off? Just last week, an idol named Kai Kun got a dowry of 500 million. And with my looks, I could grind that idol into the dirt. Yet my dowry was only 5 million. God knows how much injustice I've suffered. Your family can afford a huge flat by the Huangpu River, and yet the dowry you gave Mr. Jiang was only 5 million. Do you and your daughter even have any shame? So they weren't here to criticize sky-high dowries at all. They were here to stand up for me like righteous officials clearing my name. I didn't know at the time. My mother handled all of that. So it was the old lady pressuring him into marriage. Officer Auntie, my daughter is already 28 and has never even dated before. As parents, our hearts are anxious too. Worrying every day won't solve anything, so I went to the park to look for some decent-looking young men and recommend my daughter to them. But I can guarantee that I absolutely did not harass any man. I swear, I think you just confessed without realizing it. Mr. Jiang, is what she said true? Did she force you? If Xu Xiumei coerced you, then this case can be ruled as the mother and daughter acting together. At that point, their entire family property may have to be taken as a fine. She definitely coerced me. Xu Xiumei loved using shady little tricks like this. No, she didn't force me. At the time, Auntie Xu kept a social distance of 1 meter from me and showed me a matchmaking sign. The second I saw Su Wanrou on it, I fell instantly. Perhaps, Mr. Jiang, you really do need to go to a hospital and get your eyes checked. As for the dowry, you definitely do not meet the standard. If this is all you're offering, I advise you not to get married at all. I'm willing to add another 15 million to my husband's dowry. At the same time, this entire house will be put under his name. If one day he abandons me, or if one day I fail to serve him properly, I still won't fight for the house.
and I'm willing to sign a prenuptial agreement right now. Earlier, Xu Xiumei had told me the house would be split equally between both of us. With the house and cash added together, the total value was just under 60 million. Now that was more like it. Oh, and let me remind you of something. Since you're entering as a concubine, this isn't legally called a prenuptial agreement. It's called a voluntary gift. This wasn't just some T0 meter build anymore. This was straight up unclassifiable Cthulhu tier nonsense. I voluntarily gift this house to my husband. Do you accept? If you don't, you may refuse. Also, let me kindly remind you that any girl recommended to you every day on the Fate 520 app would offer a higher dowry than Su Wanrou. Su Wanrou lowered her head in shame, hating herself for not working hard enough to give me a more generous dowry. I reluctantly nodded. Love brain really ruins people. The moment Su Wanrou saw that I chose her without even hesitating, tears burst from her eyes on the spot. Where else could you possibly find such an outstanding son-in-law who wasn't even money-minded? This was the kind of scene people couldn't dream up even in their wildest fantasies, yet reality had somehow made it happen. Liu Yan let out a long breath and couldn't help sighing. Reality really was more absurd than movies. All right, Su Wanrou's side of this is settled. Now, Mr. Jiang, I need to ask you a few questions. I immediately sat up straight. This part was actually kind of my favorite. Then again, it was also my first time being questioned like this, so I was a little nervous. What's your WeChat ID? Su Wanrou instantly suspected Liu Yan was trying to steal her man, but she didn't dare say it out loud. I cooperated very honestly and took out my phone to show her. Liu Yan kept looking while pretending to write, but the strange part was that even though her pen kept moving, no ID ever appeared on the paper. After secretly memorizing my 16-character WeChat ID, Liu Yan finally prepared to leave. All right then, we won't disturb you any longer. I wish you two a life sweeter than honey, and may you have a child soon. The moment the door opened, a loud "Ow!" came from outside. So it turned out Song Shufen had been eavesdropping by the door. And what kind of thing is this? Some leftover nobody wanted. The police officers, who had all been smiling warmly just a second ago, instantly darkened their expressions and glared at Xu Xiumei in perfect unison. If you want to curse someone out, then curse that person out. What do you mean by insulting all of us together? After getting scolded, Song Shufen wasn't angry at all. She fired back immediately. Xu Xiumei, don't forget my daughter is 10 years younger than yours. Sooner or later, the man beside your daughter is definitely... Before she could finish, Xu Xiumei remembered how this woman had held her back in the past, and now she even wanted to steal her son-in-law. She didn't waste another second and slapped her right across the face. After getting hit, Song Shufen exploded too. You stay here and mediate this. I still have business back at the bureau. Liu Yan left, but her mind was still running. If Jiang Chen could fall for Su Wanrou, then that meant she still had a chance too. Men this love-struck were rare these days. She tried to add me. ID does not exist. Please verify the information and try again. Did I mix up the uppercase and lowercase letters? She tried again. With red eyes, Liu Yan tried 99 times before finally giving up. Men these days were seriously too crafty. Meanwhile, on this side, Su Wanrou calmly stepped past her mother, who was still in the middle of fighting. Husband, you must be hungry by now, right? I'll go cook for you. She showed absolutely no intention of helping in the fight. Instead, she quickly picked up the seafood scattered all over the floor. Yes, Wanrou, that's exactly what you should do. After marriage, everything has to revolve around the man. That's the only way life stays harmonious, and the only way things get better. The son-in-law finally comes to your house, and not only do you not take him out to eat, you're actually cooking for him at home too. Young man, why don't you come to my house instead? My daughter, forget it. You're all neighbors. You'll keep seeing each other day after day. Besides, there are other men in this world. Try to take it easy. If you keep fighting like this, every one of you will be facing administrative detention. Even with such a stern warning from the officers, the two women still refused to let it go. Song Shufen couldn't really win, but she was enjoying herself way too much and kept pushing back while provoking even more. Xu Xiumei, on the other hand, had years of old grudges exploding all at once, and every slap she landed felt more satisfying than the last. Mr. Jiang, could you please try to persuade them? Right now, your words carry more weight than ours. I nodded and agreed. After all, this whole thing had started because of me. So I walked behind Song Shufen, grabbed both of her arms, and pretended to break up the fight. Stop it. Don't fight anymore. Please, both of you, stop fighting. But in reality, I was creating the perfect opening for my mother-in-law. Even though she had the upper hand before, Song Shufen could still put up some resistance. But the second I held her down like that, every weak point on her body was completely exposed right in front of Xu Xiumei. Xu Xiumei had clawed her way through society for years, so of course she understood the goodwill hidden behind her son-in-law's actions. Without another word, she went in even harder. Meanwhile, the naive Song Shufen genuinely thought I had come over to stop the fight for real, and she even turned around to comfort me. But while she was talking, several more marks appeared on her face. It would have been better if I hadn't asked you to help at all. The scene somehow became even more chaotic. Su Wanrou watched her husband openly mediating in her mother's favor, and a soft smile curved at the corner of her lips as her heart grew even sweeter. She had still been worried that her mother might end up at a disadvantage or get scratched up, but the moment I stepped in, all her concerns vanished completely. Sure enough, having a man in the house really was like having treasure. Even a dowry of 20 million still felt too little. If she couldn't make it up there, then she would make it up with a car instead. She had heard that men all loved Porsche 911s. There was even a luxury version of that car, and it wasn't that expensive either. On the road, it would only cost a little over 7 million. She absolutely had to get one for her husband. Once Su Wanrou made up her mind, she carried the groceries inside. But the second she stepped through the door, she suddenly remembered that she had forgotten to ask about my food preferences. So she quickly turned around and came back out, her voice turning sweet and soft. "Husband, do you have any dietary restrictions?" "I'm not picky." "Then do you like Sichuan food, braised dishes, Cantonese food, or Huayang food?" Honestly, I had no idea what the actual difference was between those cuisines. In my eyes, there were only two categories, tasty and not tasty. I'm fine with anything. Just make whatever you want. With that, Su Wanrou carried the ingredients into the kitchen with zero worries. The fight outside in the hallway didn't end until Xu Xiumei was so tired she could barely lift her arms anymore. After seeing the police off, I went back inside. In the kitchen, Su Wanrou was seriously focused on making seafood soup for me. In the living room, Xu Xiumei was enthusiastically fussing over me in every possible way. "Son-in-law, have some fruit first. I'll go help Wanrou in the kitchen. As for cigarettes, smoke as much as you want. We have so many soft Zhonghua packs at home that we could never finish them all. I stocked them back when Wanrou's father was still alive because I was trying to compete for favor. As for alcohol, what do you want? 60-year-old Mauti or Romani Conti?" Today, Xu Xiumei hadn't just found the perfect husband for her daughter. She had also finally held her head high and taken back her dignity. She was practically floating when she walked. What she didn't know was that next door, Song Shufen had already started drafting her revenge plan. In apartment 2502, Song Yutang looked at her mother's utterly ruined face and asked, "What happened to your face?" Song Yutang liked wearing headphones while working out, so she hadn't heard a single thing that had happened outside. "Don't worry about that first. You know Su Wanrou from next door, right?" "Of course." "You mean that unwanted old woman next door?" "She got married today. Her husband is 1.9 meters tall, and he's ridiculously handsome." "What? That's impossible." The grudge between Xu Xiumei and Song Shufen had clearly passed down perfectly to the next generation. The two daughters had been compared against each other ever since they were little. If either of them claimed they didn't resent the other, that would be a complete lie. If you don't believe me, go check the property management cameras. That guy is probably 5 times more handsome than whatever celebrity you like. At that moment, Song Yutang felt like the sky had truly collapsed. Her mother had never lied to her, so this time she had really lost. As for avenging her mother's man-being-stolen humiliation, she was afraid she would be powerless to do anything about it for the rest of her life. She had always treated Su Wanrou as her rival. Whatever it was, she had to compete. Her chest had to be bigger, her butt had to be perkier, and since she couldn't beat her in height, she could only make up for it with cuteness instead. Song Yutang honestly believed that overall, she and Su Wanrou were about evenly matched. But now, the other side had somehow landed a wild man whose appearance was even better than that of an idol. This time, she had lost completely. "So you're just going to admit defeat like that? What else am I supposed to do? Don't you want to steal her man?" Right then, her eyes lit up. "That's right. Why didn't I think of that? I'm 10 years younger than Su Wanrou. Guys will definitely like me more than they like her. If that super handsome guy could fall for her, then he can definitely fall for me too. I, Song Yutang, am the sexiest woman in the world. There isn't a man I can't get." Seeing her daughter fire back up, Song Shufen immediately began explaining her plan. "Tomorrow, go stretch in the hallway. Remember to dress a little more pure and innocent. That handsome guy has probably already gotten tired of Su Wanrou's sexy type, so he'll definitely like your kind of two-dimensional pure girl style instead. At that same time, Su Wanrou stood beside a table full of food and called out, "The meal is ready. You didn't even serve him rice first, and you didn't pour his wine either, yet you're already calling him over to eat." If you serve a man like this, you'll get divorced within 3 days. After getting absolutely roasted by her mother, Su Wanrou hurried over to prepare a bowl of rice for Jiang Cheng and pour the red wine properly. "What are you doing? How is Jiang Cheng supposed to eat with that much rice? If it were you, would you even have the appetite to finish it?" I took in every second of that scene. Even though this was the modern world, I suddenly had the strange feeling that I was living like an emperor. Zhu Xiumei pulled out the seat of honor and gestured for me to sit. I didn't bother pretending to be modest. I accepted it openly and enjoyed the benefits of this broken version of life. At the rosewood dining table, one side was covered with spicy Sichuan crawfish that made my mouth water from the smell alone, while the other held braised sea cucumber with scallions, rich and heavy in a completely different way, showing off that deep, luxurious flavor. Just looking at it had already started the drool production in my mouth. I didn't even bother paying attention to the aroma of the 60-year-old mutai in front of me. I picked up my chopsticks and took a bite first. The taste was insane. I was enjoying the meal to the fullest, but beside me, both Zhu Xiumei and Su Wanrou had their hearts hanging in their throats. Su Wanrou, in particular, was terrified that I might so much as frown once and make her feel ashamed. But when they saw how happily I was eating, both of them let out a breath of relief at the exact same time. After dinner, Zhu Xiumei watched her daughter clear the table and instantly felt that familiar frustration of wanting better for her, but not being able to say it cleanly. "It's getting late. Hurry up and help Jiang Cheng bathe. Also, check what kind of essential oil the house is missing and order it on your phone for delivery right away." Only then did Su Wanrou suddenly remember. As Jiang Cheng's woman, her technique absolutely had to be better than the technicians outside if she wanted to keep her man from running elsewhere. "Then where are you sleeping tonight?" "Don't worry. Anywhere is fine, just definitely not here. Stop stalling and hurry up and go take care of Jiang Cheng." A little while later, Su Wanrou blushed red and sent me a very clear invitation to queue up. Naturally, I accepted without hesitation. Who knew how much time passed after that? All Su Wanrou knew was that her whole body had gone soft. She had never imagined that ranking up could be such an exhausting activity. The next day at 10:30 in the morning, Su Wanrou hooked her arm through mine and planned to take me to the company so she could go through the formalities, reclaim the director position that belonged to her, and at the same time let the entire company see just how exceptional her husband really was. But suddenly, a sharp pain shot through Su Wanrou's lower body. Looks like I had gone a little too hard last night and never really considered Su Wanrou's rank. The moment we opened the door, we saw Song Yutang on a yoga mat, seriously stretching in the hallway. Every movement she made was full of youthful energy and teasing liveliness. Su Wanrou gritted her teeth so hard they almost cracked. She was already suspecting that this little fox was deliberately trying to seduce my man, but on the surface she had no easy way to expose it. So all Su Wanrou could do was put on a fake smile and say in a gentle voice, "Little sister, stretching out here in the hallway, your figure's pretty nice, huh?" Song Yutang ignored Su Wanrou completely. Instead, she pointed at her calf and looked at me. "Big brother, it feels a little tight here. Could you come over and help massage it for me?" The moment I saw Song Yutang, I immediately felt like this girl had walked straight out of an anime. The kind of slightly scheming but low-level, air-headed heroine who thought she was way sneakier than she actually was. I didn't answer her directly. Instead, I turned to Su Wanrou beside me and asked, "What do you think? Should I help her stretch?" What? My husband was actually asking for my opinion? That hit Su Wanrou right in the heart. If it were any other man, he probably would have been dying to toss the wife in his arms into the trash and rush over immediately. But Jiang Cheng was different. He actually cared about my feelings. The moment that thought crossed her mind, Su Wanrou suddenly lost the confidence to refuse. If she acted too petty here, she would only make herself look stingy and immature. Besides, she was still just a concubine. A concubine had no right to demand that her husband stay completely untouched by other women. Even though the vinegar jar in her heart had already exploded, Su Wanrou still had no choice but to squeeze out a soft, graceful smile. "Maybe little sister is just tired. Husband, go take a look for her." Mom's plan really worked. The second this outrageously handsome big brother squatted down and got a feel for the firepower I was packing, getting a marriage contract would be easy. By then, I'd be the chief wife. Su Wanrou would be nothing more than an old, fading concubine. I'd make her wash my feet and pound my back every day, crush her under my heel, and avenge my mom.
Big brother, right here.
It hurts so much. Song Yutang held her breath in excitement, her heart practically jumping up into her throat. But I never touched her skin. Instead, I grabbed the yoga mat under her. The very next second, I yanked hard.
Song Yutang, along with the mat, got dragged violently backward and fell onto it in a miserable heap.
Ah, big brother, what are you doing? Even Su Wanrou was stunned. What kind of move was this? Could it be that my husband was so impatient he planned to deal with her right on the spot? That was way too fast. Then again, what man didn't prefer the new over the old? I dragged Song Yutang, mat and all the way to the door of apartment 2502, then pointed behind me at the elevator doors that had just opened and gave her a serious little safety lecture.
You were blocking the elevator just now.
That's dangerous. After saying that, I walked back to Su Wanrou's side and easily scooped her up into my arms. In that instant, Su Wanrou felt a huge wave of joy crash straight through her whole body. She wrapped her arms around my neck and buried her face in my warm chest. Song Yutang, on the other hand, was trembling with rage. She had never imagined that as a man, my self-control would be this terrifyingly strong. When we arrived at the underground parking garage, I had to admit it. People living near the Huangpu River really were loaded beyond belief. I hadn't even walked a full 100 meters before spotting 3 Maybachs and 5 Rolls-Royces. But when we reached Su Wanrou's parking spot, I was stunned. The car she drove was actually some tiny piece of junk worth less than 100,000. She made 5 million a year. Her daily salary was worth more than this car.
Aren't you earning 5 million a year? Why are you driving this?
I wanted to save money. I honestly couldn't understand Su Wanrou's spending logic. Her cosmetics, clothes, handbags, even her stockings. Everything she bought was top tier. But when it came to her car, she pinched every last penny.
But what's the point of saving money if you never spend it?
If you bought a better car, you'd be safer too. Husband, I'm going to tell you the truth, so don't get mad, okay? I was actually saving money for our dowry. The moment I heard that, my mind went completely blank. So the real culprit this whole time was me. I had to admit it. Women in this world were seriously being squeezed dry just for the chance to marry a man. What kind of car do you like? I'll buy it for you. Husband, please don't spend money on me. If a woman lets a man spend money on her, she'll get looked down on. Today was the annual board meeting of Haifa Financial Group. Directors who usually lived scattered all over the place. Enjoying their freedom, all had to rush back to Modu for this meeting. The people qualified to attend were at the very least vice presidents. Someone like Su Wanrou, who was only middle management, wasn't actually qualified to enter, but she still had to remain on standby. Husband, today is a little special. After you enter the company, just stay in my office, okay? The moment we stepped into the office area, the female employees who had been yawning at their desks all instantly came back to life the second they saw me. The effect was stronger than chugging an entire crate of Red Bull. Director Su, is this man your relative? Can you introduce me for a blind date? Handsome, look at me. I'm single too. He's my man. By the way, have none of you ever seen a man before? Why are all of you acting so shameless? Director Su, it's not like our men are anywhere near this good. Besides, a guy with a body like that is seriously rare. Handsome, do you have any classmates? Introduce some to us, please. The female employees surged over again, and Su Wanrou got an immediate headache from the whole scene. They were already acting like this while she was right here. If she weren't around, Jiang Chen probably would have been swallowed whole. Today is the day our company is holding the board meeting. All of you need to take this seriously. Have you rechecked the data in the reports or not?
If there's even one mistake, I won't let any of you off. One by one, the employees returned obediently to their desks, though inside, every single one of them was thinking the same thing. If you can't handle it, then don't bring your man to the office in the first place.
You want to show him off, but you're also scared he'll get flirted away. Seriously, what a small-minded woman. Su Wanrou led me into her private office. At this point, she didn't even dare bring me near the HR department anymore. First, those girls weren't under her control. Second, the women in HR were especially crazy. If I went over there, it would basically be a sheep walking straight into a tiger's den. You wait here for a moment. I'm going to the HR department to bring the supervisor over. But even after saying that, Su Wanrou still felt uneasy. So she opened a drawer, pulled out a mask, and put it on me herself.
Husband, sorry, but please wear this mask for a while.
The girls in our company seriously haven't seen men before. I'm worried they might scare you. Then Su Wanrou looked at me wearing the mask, noticed that the added mystery somehow made me even more attractive, and couldn't help stepping forward to kiss me several times.